when I say forget the respect, I'm talking about like the media and everybody
Mhm.
talking, right? Who cares what those guys are saying, right? If you go through some of the AFC teams right now, the Colts, would y'all want to play the Broncos first round? They're going to say no. We do not want to play them because the rest of the league, I think, already respects the Broncos.
Scale of 1 to 10. What is your Bo Nix worry meter at right now?
I'm at a.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now entering the No Lie Zone. RK here with my boy, Super Bowl 50 champion, Aqib Talib.
Yo.
Man, it's weird for it to be this long after a Broncos game before we could talk, but 8-2, the show remains undefeated.
Exactly, man. We ain't doing no tripping. Hey, it was a bunch of talk too. Was your social medias going as crazy as mine?
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love it, RK. Hey, they trying to find a way, man. They trying to find a way.
And that's why I actually want to start on a positive note here, because there's been a lot of talk about this defense, and anytime there's going to be a great defense, they're going to compare it to your defense in 2015. And man, they're starting to put together some performances that I think before I might have said like, no, don't put them in the same sentence. But I'm starting
Right.
to get there. Like, how good is this defense?
Hey, this defense. I told you maybe a few weeks ago, last show or whenever it was, man. They damn good. They championship like good because they check all the boxes, starting in them trenches. You know what I'm saying? Second level is crazy. The DBs is crazy. So I love it, man. They definitely got the makeup. That's why when our quarterback don't play that good, we still could win these games, man. And that's what it takes, man. It's run game and defense. That's how you win the chip. Run game and defense.
Yeah, and I think that one of the things that's just not being talked about enough because everyone's so focused on talking about Bo is this right here. Brock Bowers, 1 catch for 31 yards.
Strap. I'm telling you.
It's one of those things where, obviously the Raiders trade away their best receiver going into the game, and there's a lot like you had one thing to focus on if you're the Broncos defense. One thing you had to definitely stop, and that was Brock Bowers. But it's one thing to say it, and it's a whole other thing to do it. And I thought the quote from Pete Carroll after the game saying like, hey, we were trying to get him the ball, we just couldn't, was really telling for what a great plan and what great execution they had for that.
Nah, seriously, I think Vance Joseph do a great job of putting on that board what a team is good at and putting a plan together and taking that away from them. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of his strong points, along with those double A gap blitzes, that crazy ass third down plan he has. But we take away what guys want to do best, man, and that's a sign of a good defense. That's what Bill Belichick do. That's what Wade Phillips do. Whatever you want to do best, we're going to start with that within our scheme. We're going to take that away from you. You know what I'm saying? So the Broncos is definitely on something with this defense, man. We got all the right pieces, and it's showing.
All right, transitioning a little bit here to, I guess, address a lot of the negativity around this game. And I got a lot of pushback when I put this phrase out after the game. And I think I saw you put something else out pretty similar. So is there any limit to the phrase a win is a win? Is there any time where that doesn't apply?
No, I don't think so. I think the name of the game is winning. You know what I'm saying? Some of them going to be pretty. Cowboys, the Giants, the Bengals. Some of them going to be ugly, like the Raiders. So I'm not one who just focus straight on the stats and how it looked, man. At the end of the day, I remember a game I played in Kansas, right, RK. We playing Nebraska. We ain't beat Nebraska in who knows how many years. We talking about Kansas here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nebraska pull up. This is the year we won the Orange Bowl. Nebraska pull up. First possession of the game, we got the ball. We punted. Boom. Every time we touched the ball after that, RK, we scored a touchdown. We beat their ass 76 to like 14.
Damn.
This the thing though. The 14, 2 touchdowns on lead. I had gave up 2 touchdowns to Maurice Purify. It was a terrible performance by me, but we beat their ass 76-14. Am I supposed to be pissing, laying in the bed, mad as shit because hell no, RK. Is what it is. I
Yeah.
got roasted. We won 76-14. It's just a win is a win at this point. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I believe in the wins, man. I believe in the wins. The quarterback doing enough because I've been part of a top 3, top 5 defense in the league, and we wasn't winning games. So you can't just go out there with a good defense and say, well, they got a good defense, they gonna win. It don't fucking work like that. Ask TJ, ask Chris. You know what I'm saying? The year after we won the chip, we still was a top 3, top 5 defense, but we couldn't win no games. We was under 500. So the quarterback has to do something to contribute to every win. Simple as that.
Yeah. First of all, I support any and all wins over Nebraska. So good job.
For sure.
Second of all, I think that people a lot of times lose sight of the circumstances surrounding a football game. There's always more to the story than just this team's bad, this team's good, and the spread is this, so this should happen. Like that is
Right.
10 games in a row for this team without a bye week. They played on a Thursday night. Not too long ago, they were traveling from London and they didn't get a bye week after that. Like, I think it's fair for that team to have been tired in that game. And I don't think no one would have wanted to hear that excuse if they lose. But I think it's a legitimate excuse after a win to say, like, hey, like, we didn't have our A game. We didn't have our best stuff, but we found a way to pull that out. And obviously, shout out to the defense for completely shutting it down to make that a possibility.
Yeah, of course. And then another key factor in that game was the win. You see a lot of people talking about his balls dying here and dying. Like, bro, they was not at the game. You can't. It ain't like you could see the wind going across the screen. It's not like rain or snow. You can't see the fucking wind, but you can see him do what? Respot the ball one time, right, RK? Because the wind blowing so fucking hard, it blew the ball off the spot. So, like, come on, man. It's factors in the game that you can't see when you just turn on the internet or look at a highlight or turn the TV on and not even listening to the game. Or come on, man, it's more stuff like you said that affect the game that you don't see from the blind eye. So it is what it is.
And those guys get paid too. You know, like the Raiders defense and their coordinator put together, I thought, a really impressive game plan to make things difficult on the Broncos. Additionally, like that's the other thing that I think people don't think about is coaches, in my opinion, coaches matter in football more than any other sport because of things like that. If you can nail a game plan, you can win a game, even if you're at a talent deficiency. And they weren't able to in this one, but they were able to make it close because of that.
Easy, man. Just like, and then like you said, it's a class of it's probably a little under 2,000. I always say a class of 2,000 guys who could play in the National Football League. Every once in a while, them guys, it don't matter, even the bad teams, they're going to come out and play their ass off, just like the Dolphins just did, and they pop Buffalo. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's why they named the movie Any Given Sunday. You know what I'm saying? It's a group of 2,000 guys, man. Anybody could play good. Like you said, if that coach come up with a really good plan and that shit is really working, that team probably going to win that game. So, man, it is what it is, RK. They talking and we winning. You know what I'm saying? That same Raiders team who we just struggled with, they beat the Patriots. You feel me? Yeah. So the Patriots, they wasn't lucky enough to win their game. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Facts. All right. With all of that being said, scale of 1 to 10, what is your Bo Nix worry meter at right now?
10 being, I'm like, oh shit, I'm about at
like 10 is like get me a new core, like put Stidham in right now.
Right.
And 0 is like, hey, we're set for the forever.
I'm at a 2.
Yeah, I think
I'm real low. I'm at when we play these big games, Bo gonna have to play better. When we played these big games so far, Bo has played better anyway. So I'm just telling him to just crank it up a little bit. Hit on a couple more of these deep balls. Like I said before, you hit on a couple more of these deep balls, I'm at a 0. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. We winning games. against the bad teams is looking bad, but against the good teams it's looking better. So it is what it is, man. I don't expect him to come out and be perfect year two. I expect him to look like a sophomore quarterback. But if you're a sophomore quarterback and you're winning games, and when you play the Colts, we lost that game, but that was a damn good game. That was a solid game, Bobo. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. It is. People want him to be Tom Brady. People want him to be Peyton right now in year two, but Peyton wasn't even Peyton in year two. So
Yeah, I was gonna say too as well. It's exactly where I am. I said it to Benny on the post game show. Like I said, I'm just in monitoring mode. I'm just keeping a close eye on things. You don't want to see him regress. I'm there's a little part of me that thinks he might be banged up, and I think the fact that the Broncos only play one game over the next 23 days could really help with that. So I'm keeping an eye on Bo, but I'm certainly not pressing the panic button with Bo. And
right,
I just think that there are times in the game where he's super like comfortable and settled, and that's when he plays his best. And there are other times in the game where it looks like he gets sped up a little bit. He's playing in fast forward, and that's when he starts to do some of the stuff that we don't like to see. So whatever he's got to do, and could just be reps, it could be experience, it could just be more comfortability in the offense. But when he starts playing with that calmness throughout an entire game, is I think when you're going to see him get that meter down to 0.
right, and that's the thing that shit. I didn't play with that calmness year two. I still was sped up and worried, and you know what I'm saying. Probably really less worried my rookie year because I'm just out here like, oh shit, it's the league. I'm just out here playing. Year two, I got expectations now. You know what I'm saying. So it changes a little bit. So man, it's okay. It's okay to struggle when you're a sophomore, when you're in year two. It's not okay to lose games. Now, if he was playing like this and losing games, then that'd be, man, do we need to play Stidham? Do we need to switch something? But we not. We 8-2.
Yeah.
We win in our division, you know what I'm saying? We second in the AFC.
Yeah, I think, and I don't blame anyone who's, especially Broncos fans, who are like a little gun shy right now when it comes to, being all in on Bo. But I do think there is a tendency after 10 years of losing to look for what could be going wrong.
Right.
Is this all like fool's gold? So I think Broncos fans are a bit cautious, but I also think people need to realize, like, man, they played 10 games, they've won 8. Have some fun with it. Enjoy that a little bit more.
And ain't no such thing as fool's gold, man. This game is too hard. You know what I'm saying? It's too hard to win a game in the National Football League, period. So I don't think there's no such thing as fool's gold, man. If we played 10 games, half his games been good, half his games been not so good. So if all of them was trash, I'll be probably at a 7 on the meter. If every game he played was trash and we still was 8-2, I'll be at like a 6 or 7 on the meter. Like, bro, we're not gonna be able to win. But they're not, though. You feel me? It's not. If both put together a highlight tape right now, that'd be a fucking badass highlight tape. Mid-season highlights from Bo go crazy right now. So every game is not like that. You know what I'm saying? It's some good games in there. It's some good quarters mixed in there. And at the end of the day, the most important quarter is the fourth quarter. And when you put his numbers next to everybody in the league, not just the second-year quarterbacks, he damn near the best quarterback in the fourth quarter. So if you told me in year two, Bo Nix a struggle a little bit in the first 3 quarters, but he gonna be your best fourth quarter quarterback, and 10 games in, y'all will be 8-2. Do you want that? Who wouldn't take that? What team wouldn't? If you said, all right, Patrick Mahomes gonna struggle a little bit, but he's gonna be the best quarterback in the fourth quarter, and 10 games in, y'all will be 8-2. Chiefs, would y'all take that? They'd take that. You feel me? They'd take that. If you said Patriots, Drake May is going to struggle in the first 3 quarters. He's not going to really be playing that well, but he's going to be the best fourth quarter quarterback in the league. And 10 games in, y'all will be 8-2. Would y'all take that? Vrabel would say, hell yeah, give me that right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't see what's all the commotion about. Any team in the league would take this if you could take it at the beginning of the year.
Such a great point. And speaking of the Chiefs, that's a perfect transition into what is an opportunity we talked about last week. But I find the opportunity to have grown in size over the last week because you've got people all over the country shitting on Bo Nix, talking about how the Broncos are the worst 8-2 team they've ever seen, not paying the defense the respect that it deserves. And now all of a sudden, I think this is a week that you can make the world respect you. I think that you can go out there and have a performance that nobody can deny if you go out there and take care of business against the Chiefs this week.
I agree. We said it before. Like this got a mid-season playoff vibe to it, man. And who cares about the respect? That is what it is. I just feel like this a chance to show the rest of the league that that the Broncos are for real. That's what it is, man. It's a good test to see where you are. You know what I'm saying? It's a home game versus a divisional rival. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a great test for the guys, man. It's just a great test to see where our defense is playing against a high power offense, and it's a good test to see where our offense, what improvements have we made playing against a good defense. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to it, man. I'll be tuned in, and the opportunity is on the table, and I'm pretty sure we'll answer that bell.
It's interesting that you said forget the respect because I that's the way I was looking at it. But I'm curious your perspective on that because I also said like this is a change the narrative game. Like people won't be able to individually you can go into this game and come out and people are gonna be talking about you differently. But I'm getting the vibe from you like that's just not something that these guys are probably talking about.
Man, see, I look at it like the media. When I say forget the respect, I'm talking about like the media and everybody talking, right? Who cares what those guys are saying, right? And but if you go through some of the AFC teams right now, the Colts, would y'all want to play the Broncos first round? They're gonna say no. We do not want to play them because the rest of the league, I think, already respects the Broncos. You know what I'm saying? They see just from what we do on defense alone, the respect is there. They're not saying like, oh shit, Bo Nix trash. Let's play them. Well, if you play Bo Nix, guess who else you got to play?
Yeah.
Guess who else coming with him? Zach Allen, Nick coming with him, Pat coming with him. You know what I'm saying? Riley coming, Ufanga coming. All them boys coming. So they in the football heads, they know that. So who wants to go play against this Broncos defense? You know what I'm saying? First round. Nobody don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I think the respect is there in the league. The media going to find their stuff to talk about. That's their job. That's our job, RK. You know what I'm saying? You find something and you nitpick at it and it catch fire and everybody's talking about it. You give your opinion on it. That's what the media do. So I promise you, the Broncos is not worried about what they doing. Like shit, we motherfucking 8-2. All I know is I seen Bo drop 33 in the fourth quarter against the Giants. He went the fuck off. Then he backdoored that, dropped 44 on the Cowboys. Before that, he had 28 on the Bengals. You know what I'm saying? Shit, we lost to the Colts, but Bo dropped 28. We played good enough to win. He threw a bad interception in the red zone late. If we make that field goal, we probably win that game.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what the players are looking at it from that perspective. So I think the respect is already there amongst our peers. The media gonna do what they do, but this is a good shot to see where we're at personally.
What do you think the key is to beating this year's Chiefs?
It's the same key every year with the Chiefs, in my opinion, man. You gotta contain Patrick Mahomes, man. If you let him get third downs, convert third downs with his legs, if you let him convert third downs, if you let him run and scramble in the red zone, then it's gonna be a long day for you. You know what I'm saying? So our rush plan is huge. Keep him in the pocket, put him on the ground. That's the key. That's the key to beating the Chiefs. If you let him escape and create stuff after the play, that's where he's super dangerous at. And if you keep him in that pocket, he'll be limited to just the quick throws that he make. Now he damn good at that too, but I think he really kill you when he get out the pocket and he can create stuff, find guys in zones and things like that. So contain Patrick Mahomes, man. We got to have a great rush plan. Guys can't be everybody can't try to get the sack all at once. Y'all go get the sack first. The next guys play off of them and see where he go. You know what I'm saying? So gotta have that great rush plan.
Yeah, one thing that I think might be a little different with this Chiefs team, and I think could be one of the reasons why they're not as good as they have been in the past, is they have not proven to be a threat deep.
Right.
And, obviously, if you let Patrick run around for a while, someone will work themselves open and he'll find them. But when it comes to traditional, getting the ball vertical and down the field, they have not been able to hurt you that way. And I'm curious how much Vance Joseph is willing to, dare them to do that. And if you aren't scared of that, then you can send a few extra guys and trust your guys to play man.
Yeah, you definitely can. And I think the Chiefs haven't been successful as they usually are going deep because all they speed guys was on the shelf. They've been on the shelf, you know what I'm saying? They really just now getting back in the fold, just now getting back in rotation, talking about Worthy and Hollywood. So that aspect of their game is there. And I think if you come out playing, you'll find out quick. You know what I'm saying? So I still think you got to respect that part of their game, and you just make them. You stop their run, and you make them be a quick passing team, be a good tackling team. Make them throw that ball quick, come tackle. You know what I'm saying? You make it look like zone, play a little tighter coverage, get a couple pass breakups in there. But I don't think you want to come playing around like, oh, this team can't go deep. You would be the team to find out.
Okay, I like that. Is it different at all preparing to play a team like the Chiefs from a cornerback perspective with Patrick Mahomes, where it's like, hey, it's not just the first route you got to cover, it's the second route. Like, we've talked a lot about your proclivity for watching film when you played, and I feel like maybe it's not quite as beneficial when you're playing a guy who scrambles around like this.
Yeah, and then it's they got a lot of the old Tom Brady Patriots in them, man. They can beat you at so many different ways. So when you're watching them, you think he just always run around, but shit, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league at just getting it, boom, throwing it in zones, getting the ball out fast. So you got to prepare for that quick game stuff, like the West Coast offense type of offense that they can play. You got to prepare for all the little quick screens and stuff they do on the outside, and then you got to be ready for the shots that they'll take, how they create them shots. And then on top of that, you got to be ready to plaster when he keeps the play alive by scrambling. And he don't scramble to run for real. He scramble to throw the ball unless it's third down or unless he in the red zone. So it's definitely difficult getting ready to play the Chiefs, man. He one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and Andy Reid is one of the best offensive minds in the league, and they gonna have their way, especially off a bye week. They gonna have their ways. They want to attack you too. They gonna look at your film and know what you like to do, and they gonna have their ways. They want to attack your ass too. So it's always tough to prepare for a team like that who can attack you in so many different ways.
Absolutely. Real quick before we move on from the Broncos, just want to give a shout out and let Alex Singleton know we're thinking of him today.
Not for sure.
Courageously announced that he was diagnosed with testicular cancer, and the part that I just can't get over is that he got that news and said, if I can, I want to play on Thursday. Like, the ability to compartmentalize that and the fear that comes along with some news like that, and still want to go out there and go to battle with your brothers on that Thursday night football game is just unbelievable, and I think it says a lot about Alex.
Yeah, definitely, man. As a former player, man, when we get bad news, RK, it's just like we just want to play, man. That's like our therapy. You know what I'm saying? I want to go out there and run, hit something. I want to go out there and compete, and that's what takes our mind off of it just for that little couple hours or something, man. I remember my dad passed away on a Thursday, and it just so happened we had a Thursday night game. You know what I'm saying? So it not playing never crossed my mind. I just wanted to go out and play. I went to the stadium so early. I just wanted to get out the house and just get in the atmosphere, just so I could stop thinking about it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So that's super courageous of him, man. I'm glad he's okay. You know what I'm saying? And because my brother-in-law recently, just this January, passed away from cancer. You know what I'm saying? And it just became a more relevant part of my life. You know what I'm saying? Just making me want to be more healthy and all kind of things, and getting scanned and tests and all kind of things, man. Just because that was my wife's brother who passed away, man. And shit, he lived with us for his last for the last year he was alive. He basically lived. We did. No, basically he lived with us. So I got to see it. I got to see it firsthand, man. So it's definitely a serious situation, and I'm glad he's okay, man. And it's not worse. I'm glad he found it when he did, and it's not worse than it is.
Yeah. First of all, sorry for your loss, man. It's one of those things that it feels like we've all unfortunately had to come across in one way or another in our lives, and I think you nailed it. Like it's always a wake up call. Anytime you see this stuff, whether it's sports, whether it's your family, anything like that, to go out and get yourself checked. And Alex was lucky that he just showed up during an NFL drug test that he needed to get checked out for it. And he said like it's kind of weird and hard to share such personal news, but if I just convince a couple people to go out there and get tested and we catch it early, it's worth it.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely.
Moving on here, I was out in West Virginia this weekend. I got to see my boy Julian Lewis make his first career start, and I was probably as happy after that game as I can remember being after a game where the Buffs lost,
Right.
as I have been in maybe ever, because of the way he looked. I mean, for an 18-year-old quarterback in his first start to be able to go on the road in a loud environment and represent himself the way that he did in that game was incredibly impressive. What did you think, Aqib?
I thought the same, man. Very poised, very poised. I immediately thought like, damn, why we ain't have him in at the beginning of the year. But I know sometimes in practice it look one way, but then it's this thing that they call that it factor. And when I watched him, man, it's like he just got it. It's that confidence. It's that confidence that he carry himself with every play. How he move in the pocket is it's that confidence, man, and it's that it factor. So maybe you don't see it in practice. When you put him in a game, he just turned up a little bit with his environment, man. So it definitely looked good. It definitely looked good in my opinion. I'm looking forward to see him, a few more games. And I think Prime is the main one who's happy. I think he got a recruiting tool right there. Like, okay, y'all see who we got. We got somebody look promising for the future. You know what I'm saying? So I liked it.
It was really impressive. And I thought that, when you mentioned the gamer stuff, I thought that really showed up the most, or the it factor really showed up the most in the fourth quarter when like they had the ball and needed to score.
Yep.
And he just had that like instinct of like, okay, like avoiding the rush, stepping up in the pocket, finding
Yep.
someone downfield. Like those things are just, I don't think it's normal for a freshman quarterback to have that type of instinct and just wherewithal in that moment. So that was refreshing to see.
Exactly. And that stuff probably hard to show in practice. If you have a real scrimmage, you probably had quick whistle. As soon as a guy come throw an arm out, you blow the whistle. And he like, bro, I would have broke that. And like he was like, it's kind of hard to judge in practice. But in the game, you see them little arms was coming through. He was running through them little arms. You know what I'm saying? Them little arm tackles wasn't bringing him down in that pocket. And he really got to show his stuff in that pocket. So sometimes, man, you got to go live in order to show exactly what you can do, man. It was like Ty Reesing for us. We had Ty Reesing when I was at Kansas, and if you watched him in practice, you may not think nothing of it. But once he got in that damn game, it was like the shit that he creating, keeping his eyes upfield, and the throws that he making off script was crazy, man. So it's definitely a it factor involved, man. He had to get a bucket at the end. He did, and shit. If the Buffs would have got one more stop, he probably would have came and won that game. You know what I'm saying? We needed to get one more stop. We didn't get that one more stop. We let him score that 10-play touchdown drive. But if we was able to get a stop right there, I think he might have came and won that game.
Absolutely, and I'm glad you brought up the recruiting tool part of it all, because I think that was my big thing of like why I was hoping to see him, and then so elated that he played so well, is like the whole fan base, the program, everything kind of needed something to reinstill hope.
Right.
And I was thinking of you when I was creating the rundown, and how the right quarterback in place can really change the way that people look at an organization. And am I fair to assume you probably wouldn't have been a Denver Bronco if Peyton Manning wasn't there?
Nah, not at all. I mean, you want to win games, right? So first of all, you want to see who's going to be leading us. And then even when you get on the team, long as Peyton is in that huddle, we feel like, okay, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter what the score is. It was 20-0. All right, we'll be all right, man. We'll be all right. Just Peyton to get it going. We'll get a few stops. Peyton to score back-to-back touchdowns. Boom, we right back in it. And you look in that huddle, and it's Trevor Siemian or somewhere. You like, it's 20-0. Fuck, I don't even know if we can get back. You know what I'm saying? So it's just that quarterback either brings motivation or bring positive thoughts or negative thoughts. It's like nothing in between, man. So I think now after that game, even the guys on his own team, they'll feel like we can get a win. We can get a win with Julian in there. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely breeds that confidence, man, throughout the whole building when you got a guy who can get it done.
Absolutely. And obviously he's got a long way to go to be Peyton Manning, but
of course,
just like the people that know him and the people that saw him play in high school, I think all of those people aren't surprised about what they saw. Also, by the way, that's 2 weeks in a row with old Trevor Siemian catching a stray on the show, man.
Nah, my bad. Trev, know he my guy, man. But hey, this is no lie zone, baby. I just call it how it is, man. That's all I could do, RK, is call it how it is, man. That's the first name that came up. I could have used a whole bunch of names. You know what I'm saying? Chris Sims. I could have used a whole bunch of names of guys I played with where we looked in that huddle and was like, shit. It just ain't, you feel me? So my bad, Trev. My bad.
No, I'm just giving you shit. Last one on Julian, I think, is this debate that I'm now seeing about, of course, anytime a guy goes out there and looks like that, well, everyone says, okay, well, why wasn't he playing earlier?
Right.
And I think that there's a fine line between, it feels like everyone could be right about their take. Like if you're me and you say, well, yeah, I wanted him out there week 1, I look like I'm right. And if you're someone else who says, hey, he wasn't ready and now he was, well, you look like you're right, And so it's such a fine line. I'm curious what you think like readiness looks like, or how can you know when someone is ready, and what's the right plan to make sure that you put them in when they are?
I think you got to just go off practice. The first thing you do is go off practice, man. And Salter probably looked the best out of the quarterbacks in practice. He looked like he'd give us the best chance to win in practice, So that's who you start with. Now, after that, if that's not looking that good, you just start to go down the line and try other guys, you know what I'm saying? So, and it's for the reasons I said. Some guys may look one way in practice, but when you put them in game, they're a totally different guy, you know what I'm saying? Because they got that it factor, you know what I'm saying? That it factor it pop out sometimes in practice, but that it factor really pops out when all the marbles are on the table. When it's go time, the lights on, the cameras on, that's when that it factor is going to show up, you know what I'm saying? You don't really do it in practice all the time, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to go there in practice. So sometimes it happen like that, you know what I'm saying? they look one way in practice, and you like, he's solid, but this guy is the one who's looking better. Then the other guy get put in practice. Then the other guy get put in the game, and you like, oh man, he looks totally different in the game than he does in practice. So that's where you say, oh, he got that it factor. Everybody don't have that. Some guys are excellent practice players, and you put them in a game and they freeze up a little bit. They different in the game than they are in practice. They better in practice. So I think that's what happened in this case, man. He just maybe looked like a young guy, maybe a lot of mistakes in practice. And then once you get him in the game, it's like, this the speed that I like to play at right here, the real live speed. You know what I'm saying? So it happened like that sometimes.
Yeah. I'll throw another stray at a Broncos quarterback here. People will remember who watch our show, our DNVR Broncos show. Like Case Keenum, when he came to town, we were watching his training camp. And I preface this by saying I never got to watch a Peyton Manning training camp. But this dude had the best training camp I've ever seen, man. He was not missing.
Thought we was going to go crazy, right?
Yes. I think I even remember a clip of Chris Harris Jr. like after he completed a pass at practice, and he was like, man, if he's making throws like that, like no one's beating us. But unfortunately, he didn't.
Right. Unfortunately, he was one of them practice players.
So yeah, like it's just crazy, but I'm excited for him that he got to show what he could do, and I think it really does set a nice foundation for what this program could do going forward when you have that position looking like it's solidified already.
Nah, exactly, man. And he still got a couple games. What, they got 3 games left?
2 left.
They got 2 games left, man. He got 2 more games to come out and show that it's real, to show that he really got that it factor. And that'll help Prime, man. You look at Prime in a tough situation. What Prime had this year? 1 returner on offense, 1 starter on offense returning, right?
Yes.
1 starter on defense returning, right?
Yep.
I mean, come on now. That's terribly hard.
1 or 2,
yeah. 1 or 2. So that's terribly hard to have a successful season when you in that boat. Now, your quarterback gone. You know what I'm saying? He's one of them starters who's not coming back. The Heisman Trophy is one of those starters who's not coming back on offense and defense. So, man, you need a year to rebuild, so to speak, man. And what better way to have a 5-star who all these young guys who you're recruiting, they still know about him. He's still only 18 years old. They know he was a 5-star #1 quarterback in America. You know what I'm saying? Look how he playing right now. So 2 more games, he come out and show his shit for 2 more games, he'll be able to get some tackles in there. He'll be able to get some big-time wideouts in there. You know what I'm saying? He'll be able to get some guys who want to come join. He got some selling points. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, before I go over there, I want to see who gonna be leading us now. Who am I going over here to catch passes from? Who am I going over here to block for? You know what I'm saying? Who am I going over here to play against in practice? Can we actually win the Big 12? Who's leading us? And shit, if you see him, if he come out and show 2 more games of the shit that he showed this past Saturday, he'll make Prime job a lot easier.
I love it, man, and I'm looking forward to it. They got a bye this week, which would be, I think, great for him too. He already said he's staying in the facility, keeping his nose to the grindstone, and we'll get to see what he can do in those last 2. All right, let's now final transition here into a new fan favorite on this show, and I'm excited to hear what we got from the people today. All right, let's dive in. Let's hear what we got. First voicemail here.
I'm a big fan of sub sandwiches and just sandwiches in general, and I think that a person's perfect sandwich says a lot about them. So I would like to hear from both of you, especially Aqib. What is your perfect sub sandwich? Break it down for me, from the bread to the meat to the toppings. Let me know.
My perfect sandwich would definitely be a hot sandwich. Now, we start with the bread, right? It's specific bread that they make like cheesesteaks with on the East Coast, right?
Hoagie
You know
roll.
what I'm saying? What you call it?
Hoagie roll.
Yeah, see, I call it a hoagie roll too. They call it all kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes you go to like some of these places like Charlie's and shit, you get a cheesesteak. They don't got the right bread, so the cheesesteak just ain't right. So it's that. But you go to like Tony's and shit, some places that you go to, they got the right bread. You know what I'm saying? So 1st it'll start with that hoagie roll from the East Coast, right? Start with that. I toast that. You know what I'm saying? I probably go with chicken. I probably go with some type of white meat, chicken breast or something. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Some type of chicken, white American cheese. You know what I'm saying? I go my sauce. I probably go Miracle Whip or mayonnaise. That's the same thing to me. Mayonnaise and honey mustard. I probably mix both of them in. You know what I'm saying? When I cook this chicken, this would be hot chicken. I cook it up. I dice some onions with it for sure. So it'd be some diced up onions in there on this hoagie roll. It almost be like a chicken cheesesteak almost.
Yeah.
So you put the onions in there, man. I might throw some jalapenos on there, some honey mustard, some mayonnaise, some white American cheese. You know what I'm saying? Nice hoagie. Little bit of lettuce, no tomatoes. I put a little bit of lettuce on there, and maybe a couple strips of beef bacon or turkey bacon, one of the two. And hey, man, you can't go wrong with that sandwich right there. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. We might have to just add that to the menu here at the DNVR bar.
Nah, seriously.
When you come hang out with us, we'll have it ready for you.
The leave.
The leave. I like it. So first and foremost, I got to say, like, my favorite sandwich ever is a Philly cheesesteak in Philly. But that's just not available to me very often. So if I'm going homemade sandwich, I'm starting with some great sourdough, and I want it to be like, for lack of a better term, like extra sour. Like I want that sourdough to like really pop. Like
you want to be able
really
to see it on there a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Then I'm gonna go with turkey. And I'm gonna go with pepper jack cheese. The spicier the pepper jack cheese, the better.
Love that.
I'll probably go with some jardinera peppers on there too to kick the spice up a little bit. And then here is the one that I've learned recently. Not just any mayo. You got to go Duke's mayo.
I like Duke's mayo.
Normally no free ads on the pod, but if Duke's mayo, hears this, they want to get in on this. We'd love to have them because the Duke's mayo takes the sandwich up another level.
I like that, man. I love turkey. I love pepper jack cheese. I do got a turkey sandwich that I that's how I do it too. I'm pepper jack cheese, little avocado spread on there, man. That's how I do my sandwich when I go to like Subway and shit. But yeah, I could dig that sandwich.
All right, let's see what we got next.
Yeah, I guess I would want some advice. I'm coaching and working a lot, and I'm just wondering which one I can put more effort into. My boss has given me the leeway to go coaching more, but I also need to be working hard to be, paying bills and everything. So what's your advice as an athlete and as a coach? And I'm assuming Aqib is coaching his kids as well. So yeah, thank you.
Hey man, you priorities, right, RK? Your job pay the bills, man. As a man, we gotta have them bills paid first. So work always gonna come first, man. That's not even, I don't care what my boss said. Work is always gonna come first. Coaching, unless it's my job, is extracurricular. And that's like my therapy. That's my giving back to community or helping out with my kids, or that's like my fun, so to speak. So man, work always comes before play, man. So definitely take if you got to back off on the fun a little bit more, and focus on that work, man. That work, gotta have that as the number one priority at all times.
I think you nailed it. Let's go to the next one.
Yo, Talib, last week I pointed out the week after playing the Broncos, the only team that's won is the Colts. So the question is, did you end up betting on the Cardinals?
Nah, I didn't, but I remember we brought that up, and I was telling somebody that too. May have been Skip. I may have been Skip. I was telling. I'm like, man, hey, boys don't whatever. You know what I'm saying? They don't. When they play the Broncos, they lose the next week. And I should have, man. I'm not a big bettor myself, but if I was, I would have put it in. And hey, man, you still right so far.
Yeah, except for the Jags didn't finish the job this week. They had them on the ropes and they blew it against the
did they mess it up? Okay, all right.
I did hear just now from Emma that she did bet on the Cardinals and got the dub. Now that should be prefaced with the
Emma.
fact that she's a Cardinals fan.
Pick up, Emma. That was a hell of a game, man. They came out and belt to ass, boy. I'm talking about they came out and played a hell of a game, man. So I like it. I like what I see. So let me ask. Can I ask Emma a question?
Yes, absolutely.
Emma.
Yes, sir.
Have we saw the last of Kyler Murray in the Cardinals uniform?
Tough. I would be very happy if that's like the truth.
Oh man, god damn.
I know it's a little tough, but I mean, last season and this season, I haven't been too impressed. I'm not saying that he's not talented. I think he's a very talented quarterback. This is a very bad team.
I think that both parties might be able to benefit from a change of scenery.
Right. Yeah, I say the same. I think he like in year 8 or something like that, man. I think quarterbacks or players in general, your prime is like year 6, 7, 8, 9. And just in the middle of your prime, man, if it's not working, a change of scenery might be a good thing. You know what I'm saying? So I love his game. I don't think he's a bad quarterback at all, but sometimes you just need to, get around some different ears, some different eyes, and just get a straight new change of scenery, man. Reinvent yourself and start it over again, man. So I think he's still got a lot of good football to play. I just don't know if it's going to be in Arizona.
Yep, me either. All right. I think this will be our last one here, so hopefully it's a good one.
My girl, love her to death. She's my special person. She treats me right all the time, except for sometimes I say 95% of the time she's the same person. 5% of the time she's a different person, and she can be difficult to deal with, argumentative, just making my life a little more difficult than I think it needs to be at times. So, how do you manage that 5% of a person that you love and care about? How do you make them a full 100%, great person all the time? I guess nothing wrong with her except for every now and then, just a little bit of tough times, I guess. Thanks.
That's a good question, man. Great one to end on. Now, first of all, you don't make her the whole 100% person. Like, it's not gonna happen because that's just not who she is. So if she's argumentative or combative or on your nerves for a little bit, that's just who she is. So as a man, we got to know that that's just part of females being females, man. They going to speak their mind, you know what I'm saying? They go through stuff once a month, you know what I'm saying? They body change once a month, and they go through stuff. Now, us as a man, we just got to be the ones, when it's that 5%, we just got to learn how to handle that 5%. Learn how to not lose our cool in that 5%. Learn how to make them smile a little bit more in that 5%. You know what I'm saying? So as a man, we just have to accept that 5%. Like, okay, she do everything right. She cooks, she cleans, she make the calls I need her to make. She do everything right. But when that 5% comes, just like, okay, this the part that's not perfect, and let me try to be perfect during her time of not being perfect. You know what I'm saying? So that's a challenge as a man, man. All men who deal with females, you gotta work, you gotta handle that. It's all females have that 5%, and all men don't know how to deal with it. But it's our challenge as a man to be able to handle that. So you don't change it. You just learn to love it. It's like lifting weights. When you feel that burn, you don't really want to feel that burn, but you want the results from that burn. So you got to learn to love that burn. You know what I'm saying? So if you really love her, you will learn to love that 5% because you love the other 95%.
I think you cooked, and I agree with what you said. The only thing I would add is, like, you got to ask yourself, do you think you're at your best 100% of the time? Because
Exactly.
I don't think I am. Like,
exactly.
Like, I don't think anyone
I got a
could be
5% too, RK. I know I got a 5% for sure.
Exactly. So you got to give people grace. 5%, that's pretty low. I think.
Hey, nah, seriously.
So I think, yeah, you nailed it. If you love someone, you got to give them a little bit of grace on their 5%.
For sure.
All right, that was great. That's gonna wrap it up for us today, and hopefully you got us at our 95% today.
For sure, man. No lie zone. Y'all stay tapped in.